money, quiet storm, have it thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, Ole Green is the. I'm a player on the late night tip. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog, to the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss to death, rep protect your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss to death, rep protect your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over on my headstone. Here lies them getting paid for, never take a loss on my headstone.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Lucky 56. Gone.
Hill on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a second down. On the counter, here's Kamara. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Got it.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On the ground, Kamara, and he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Hill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And he's got this one down to the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
All right, now, look at 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Randy Gregory in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get through.
It's like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, and maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Here you go. Left. Got it.
To throw is Breeze. Able to get away. And his throw is incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Lucky 56.
A shotgun snap for Hill. Flush to his right. That's complete to Meredith. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. It's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit!
Here's Hill now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sean Lee able to drop him for a loss of 4. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Easy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Throwing now is Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to wind up and air it out. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, here's Kamara. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And Lutz's kick is good. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Prescott now from the 50. Forced out to his left. And some room to work. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed as that's going to move the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Elliott, and he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try to throw now. Prescott dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott off play action. They'll roll him out right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
10th carry now for Elliott. Down to the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to... And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. The extra point up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Get set, get set.
A busy night continues for Kamara. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Easy. 21. 11.
Now Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. Because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Breeze to throw on second down. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back now in Arlington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Watch it now, Barney!
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll go with a keeper, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. It's their quarterback, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now this time, Breeze will throw. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Again to Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
A dump off to Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They run it with Elliott. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And the Saints will have the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Room here to run. Space to maneuver at the 40. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney.
From the gun, here's Hill. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Sammy.
A give. This is Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ready? You ready?
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be a 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. A road win in the National Football League.